Hi there, and welcome to Olagood Academy. This is the part 2 video on angle of elevation and depression. We're having 2 questions to solve here in this class, and I'm going to give you your own task to solve after the end of this video lesson. The first question says that a man on top of a tower 300 meter sees 2 cars P and Q on a straight level road, full stop. The angle of depression of P was 48 degree and that of Q was 28 degree, full stop. Calculate the distance between the 2 cars. So without wasting much time, let's go into the calculation. Solution. Remember I said that to be able to solve questions under angle of elevation and depression, you must be able to interpret the question. Once you are able to interpret the question, then you have no issue at all. Now let's read the question together, because I believe that you have jotted the question down. The question says that a man on top of a tower 300 meters. So we're having a man on a tower 300 meter. 300 meter. Remember I said in the first video that if the distance, or let me say if the height of the man is not given, don't symbolize it in any direction. Don't symbolize it. If the man's height is given, you can symbolize it. But since the man's height is not given, what the question needs from you is just to interpret the height of the tower. That's all. Let's continue. A man on top of a tower 300 meter sees 2 cars P and Q. Sees 2 cars P. Let's say the first car is at this point here, and second car is at this point here, P and Q, on a straight level road. On a straight level road. On a straight level road. The angle of depression of P was 48 and that of Q was 28. Now, some of students might want to interpret this question wrongly, but please, I'm begging you, pay attention. The first angle of depression was said to be what? 28, and second one was what? 48. So this is the line of sight. Line of sight. Is it here? The question says that the first angle of depression was what? 28. So we have the first angle to be what? 28. The first one is here to be 28. The first one was 28 and the second one was 48. 48. From here to here is 28 degree. And from here to here is 48 degree. From here to here will be 28 degree. From here to here will be 48 degree. From here to here can never be 28. And from here to here should be 48. It's not possible. So you must be able to interpret the angles correctly. From the line of sight to the nearest angle is 28. From the line of sight to the farther angle, the more bigger angle is 48. So the biggest angle is 48. That is not all. We have this. Calculate the distance between the two cars. So this is the first car and second car. Calculate the distance between the car. Let's call the distance C. Let's call it C. Amidst these 2 points now, which one is point P and which one is point Q? Let's continue. Remember that I said in the first video that alternate angles are equal. It means this angle here, and this angle here are equal. This Z here, or we call it Z in American, we call it Z in American, or in British we call it Z. So this like kind of shape Z here, this shape Z here, the angle here is the same thing as the angle here. So if we check it carefully, this one is playing this shape here, like this. So this angle here is alternate to this angle. So this is 28 degree. What is this angle now? This line here is like this. This like this like this. So if there's 48, here to be what? 48 degree. So it says that the angle of the equation of P was 48. So here is P, and that of Q was 28. So here is Q. Here is Q. So here is P, here is Q. So this is how to interpret this kind of question. And the question says that calculate the distance between the two cars. That is our next task. Now, how do we find the distance between these two cars here? Very simple. Just follow it step by step. Your first step is to get the distance from here to here. Let's call here A. Let's call here D. So let's say triangle APD. Triangle APD. So triangle from triangle APD. Triangle APD is this. We have this. We have here is 300. Here is not given. Here is 48 degree. Here is A. Here is D. And here is P. I chose here first because I can easily use this value here and this angle here to get this side. Alright, so given from this triangle, I have my opposite to be what? 300 meter. 300 meter. My angle theta, I'm looking for this side. So let me call here B, small b. So let me see that my adjacent is B. So I have B. My angle theta is 48 degree. So I have this. Angle theta is 48 degree. So what equation relates opposite and adjacent together? It is TOA. So we have tan theta equal to opposite over adjacent. So I have this. Tan, what is theta? Theta is what? 48. theta is 48 degree equal to opposite is what there? 300 over my adjacent is what I'm looking for, which is B. So I have this over this. So my next task is to cross multiply and get my side B, which is from here to here. So I have B to be equal to 300 over 48. So if I press 300 over 48, 270.27 meters. So from here to here is what? 270.2 meters. That is my distance from D to P. That is here. Is what? 270.2 meters. So my next task is to now get CA. Is to get CA. Remember, from here to here is the total side here. So it means that from here to here is 270.27 plus C, give me my D to Q. From D to Q is value of this side plus value of this side. I've gotten the value of this side to be 270.27. So my next task is to continue like this from triangle ADQ. From triangle ADQ. What will I have? I have this as my triangle now. As my triangle. I have this. My triangle. Here is 300 meters, and here, this side here is 270.27 plus small letter C. I have C. My angle is 28 degrees. Remember, this is a right angle triangle. My angle here is 28 degrees. So I have 28 degree as this. I have this as my angle here. So I can use this one here to get my value of C. Remember, I'm asked to get the distance between the two cars, which is P and Q. So I can use this. I can use my total distance here to get the distance between P and Q. Alright, let's continue. Given my opposite is what? Opposite is 300 meter. Adjacent is what? Adjacent is 270.27 plus C. Angle theta is 28 degrees. I have this here. So my next task is to bring it together. Tan theta equal to opposite over adjacent. I have this. So my tan theta is what? 28 degree equal to my opposite is what there? 300. So I have 300 over my adjacent is what there? 270.27 plus C. I have this. So from here now, I can easily get my distance from here to here. So let me take this side off and continue with the calculation. Alright, let's continue. So we have tan 28. So we have tan 28 degree multiplied by 270.27 plus C equal to 300. So tan 28 is 0.532 multiplied by 270.27 plus C equal to 300. So let me open the brackets. This times this is what? 143.64 plus this times this give me this. This times this will give me what? That would be 0.532C. Let me use small c equal to 300. So I have this. My next task is to collect like terms. So I have 0.532C equal to 300 minus 143.64. I have this here. So next, my next task is to subtract. I have 0.532C equal to 300 minus 143.64. I'm going to get 156.36. We have this. My next task is to divide both sides by the coefficient of C, which is 0.532. So I have over 0.532 over 0.532. So this here 1, this here 1. My C equal to, if I divide it, I'm going to get 293.91 meters. So this is my final answer. So the distance from here to here is 293.91 meters. So from here to here is 270.27. From here to here is 293.91. If you are asked to find the distance from the tower to Q, it means they are asking you to find the total distance. So you can just go ahead and add up this value and this value together to get the distance from the foot of the tower to the car Q. So that is the answer for so this is the answer for the first question. The second question now, let's see how we are going to solve it. Alright, question 2 now. Question 2 says that Maria is at the top of a cliff and sees a seal in the water, full stop. If the cliff is 40 feet above the water and the angle of depression is 52 degrees, what is the horizontal distance from the seal to the cliff to the nearest foot? So let's solve that question. Solution now. Alright, let's see how we can interpret this question. Alright, it says that Maria is at the top of a cliff and sees a seal in the water. Maria is at the top of a cliff. We have a cliff here. Let's assume this is a cliff, and she sees a seal in the water. She is at the top of a cliff and sees a fish in the water. So what does that tell you? She's having a line of sight, and she sees a seal in the water, and she sees a seal in the water. So let's say the seal is around here. She sees a seal in the water. So it means they are trying to tell us that she has an angle of depression here. But let's find out. Let's check. Let's continue. Full stop. If the cliff is 40 feet above the water, the cliff is what? 40 feet. 40 feet above the water. Let's continue. And the angle of depression is 52 degrees. Alright. The angle of depression is what? 52 degrees. Okay. What is the horizontal distance from the seal to the cliff, to the nearest foot? So the distance between the cliff and the seal is what we are asked to find. Don't forget, this is a right angle triangle. So from the idea of alternate angles are equal, if here is 52, here we also the what? 52 degree. 52 degree. So let's solve this. Given, remember we have to find from here to here. So let's call here. So let's call from here to here F. Let's call it F. Given, my opposite is what? Opposite is 40 feet. 40 feet. Adjacent is what? F. Adjacent is F. To avoid confusion, let me use P. Let me use P. To avoid confusion, let me use P. My theta is 52 degree. Now, what formula relates opposite, adjacent, and theta together? What formula? The formula is what? Is TOA. So we're having tan theta equal to opposite over adjacent. So we have this. Alright. Tan theta is what? 52 degrees. So we have 52 degree equal to opposite is what? 40. I have 40 as the opposite. What is the adjacent? It is P. I have P here. If I should multiply, I will have P equal to 40 over tan 52 degree. Because by cross multiply, I will get this one here as my coefficient of P, which I'm still going to use to divide both sides. So straightforward, from here, I already know that this tan 52 will be my coefficient that I'm going to use to divide both sides. So I have this already. Continue. What is tan 52 degree? So that will be 40 over tan 52 degree. So that will give me 1.28. My P equal to, now 40 divided by 1.28, that will give me 31.25 feet. It means from here to here is 31.25 feet. That is my final answer for this question here. So this is how we solve questions under angle of elevation and depression. So let me give you your own task to solve. I'm giving you the question based on the question that I solved in the part 1 video. So let me give you the question to solve as your own task. A man 25 meters tall observes that the angle of elevation of the top of a pole 20 meters away is 25 degrees, full stop. Find the height of the pole. That is your own task. So you can do well to watch the part 1 video. I solved a question similar to this question. So you can do well to check out the first video. In that first video, I did the introduction of angle of elevation and depression. So you can do well to check out the part 1 video. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, and drop a comment. Thank you. This is Blackboard Academy.